we're back. Alright guys, today we're going to do a oil change on a 22 Sienna van hybrid. This is a 2.5. I am very familiar with this vehicle. The biggest thing we're going to worry about today is actually safety and picking the cars up where we don't actually hurt ourselves, okay? We're going to use a very suitable jack. We're going to use some very good jack stands. We're going to have a oil catch pan, and we're going to use the oil catch pan tray that makes it a little bit easier so we don't make a huge mess. As far as oil, I said Mobile One, I believe in it, I trust it, and the same with the Purolator TLs. This is actually a industrial version of their filters. We use them all the time. I am okay with it. We got some washer fluid, some brake cleaner, some gloves because I like my hands to be actually clean and not stained, a tub of towels, the goat, a few things on Toyotas. So back in the day, we were forced to use these cups, and I am so grateful that we no longer have to use those. On this platform, we will be using this one for sure because of the tight fit. This is a great tool for oil filters. Personally, I enjoy having a magnet. I've had this is a Mac magnet. I'm sure they didn't make it, but it says Mac on it. I paid Mac prices. All right, guys, on Toyota, the biggest thing, these are actually OEM drain plug gaskets. Now, they are not the cheap metal ones. These are actually felt. The reason why I still have these is because we just stockpile them. I'm sure my friend has a box of them as well. All right, guys, first rule of changing oil. Do this to help you prevent having any kind of mistakes of closing the hood without putting oil back in your vehicle. Now, this may not happen to you as a DIY, but when you work in a shop and you're on flat rate and you're fast paced, you move. So what you're going to do is we're going to take off our oil cap and we're going to set her right there on our hood latch. That way, in case I slam my hood, I'm going to break my oil cap. And I'd much rather break the oil cap than not put oil in my engine. All right, guys, we have the vehicle picked up. We are on the pinch welds. Now, the pinch weld on this vehicle, being a unibody, is, let's back up. A lot of times you're going to see these notches. If you see these notches, you should be good to go. If you have any question, you start hearing crumbles, stop picking the car up, okay? All right, so we got one side picked up on this. Walk around. We have the other side picked up. Now, I have the jack stand in place. I also have the jack in place still, too, as well. That way I have added protection. On this vehicle, we have these lower splash shield, a splash guard. It's supposed to help protect the vehicle from going over rain, keep the water out from getting up into the engine. It also really helps out whenever you do have a leak because it will catch it, and it will, when you go to inspect it, you'll be able to see where the actual oil is coming from or have an idea of actually where the leak is at. On this one, I want to say it's 2 or 3 10 millimeters. We'll pull those out real quick and we'll have access to the filter and we'll have access to the drain plug. Get over the noise, guys, sorry. With those out of the way, there's a little slot right there. You see that? That has to go in first for it to actually go back into place. I'm going to move my panel back. I'm going to take my 4 10 millimeters and I'm going to stick them right there so I do not lose them. Now I have access to the drain plug and I have access to the oil filter. Let's see. Alright guys, you're not going to be able to see what I'm actually doing very well at all, but I'm going to go ahead and start by knocking out this 14 millimeter drain plug. Boom, 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 here. And it should not be super tight. This car does not go to Jiffy Lube. I don't need a breaker bar to get this off. Do not do that. I'm going to loosen this up. I'm going to grab my fancy magnet. Maybe not. Alright, there's not enough room. Usually what I do with the magnet is I will take it and use her to get this off without making a huge mess. Let's see. We get lucky. Get ready, get ready. Oh, we got lucky. How about that? All right, cool. All right, she goes over here. Still on the magnet. We didn't lose anything. Now while this oil was drained from the engine oil pan, I'm going to go ahead And I'm gonna loosen up my oil filter, get her to start draining some. There we go. Now by doing this, I'm gonna avoid making a huge mess. Now this is a tight spot. These filters are prone to leak if you don't get them on tight enough right. And you see, now the oil actually looks pretty good still. Because the person takes care of the vehicle. Change your oil, guys. Change your oil. So, filter's off, pan is still draining. I have the new gasket here and new filter. So as that stuff is doing this job, I'm going to work on getting the old gasket off. Alright, a little trick right there. Okay. We'll let the oil keep on draining. I'm going to grab my drain plug. I'm going to do gasket. I'm going to slide it aside. Put her back over where I know she's safe. I'm not going to lose her. New filter. I'm going to double check and make sure that there is no gasket left over from the old one. That's called double gasket. No gasket here, new gasket here. Now as far as lubricating the new gasket, I am not concerned about that. Because why? Because there's still oil on the mating surface. As long as this filter screws on correctly and it's not cross-threaded, I am happy and I'm good to go. Now this is a very bad spot and it's hard to get a good grip on this. I am not going to use that wrench to tighten her down. I'm going to use my hand. Alright, double check my work. I'm okay with that. I'm going to give her one more Guten tight. And wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Click. Alright, torque spec. Alright, the oil is almost done draining. Let's get you back a shot. Okay, we have our drain plug with our new gasket. I'm gonna come around the spill so I don't get this on my hands. Boom, boom, boom. Now, I don't care if Jesus Christ himself comes down and talks to you while you're in the middle of putting this drain plug in. You don't have that talk with anybody. You don't walk away. You don't answer your phone. You don't do anything until you tighten this drain plug. If you start this drain plug, you tighten it. All right. And what that's going to do is prevent you from making the mistake of not tightening this down. Now, I'm not going to grab my torque wrench. I'm not going to freak out about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give her a good feeling. And I'm happy with that. I'm going to grab my nice clean rag. I'm going to give her a wipe down here. Make sure there's nothing there. Take the extra step, guys, and clean up behind yourself. So when the next guy comes behind you, he can't even tell that you were ever there. And the same thing for the oil filter. And I'm gonna quit a little bit anal. So I like my filters to be just as pretty when they come out the box when they go back onto the vehicle. All right, so we have a tight drain plug, torque spec. We have a tight oil filter, torque spec, both areas are clean. So now, what we're going to do is put our cover back on, and then we're going to add our oil. Vehicle's down, the cover's back on, drain plug is tight, the filter is tight, everything's cleaned up, the cover is back on. All that's left to do is put our very good, trusted Mobil 1 oil back in our vehicle. While we're here, we're going to go ahead and top off our washer fluid. Alright, once we're done with this service, usually I'll do this step first, What we're going to do is we're going to reset the maintenance light. So I'm going to try to get you guys into focus. Forgive me. Here we go. Yes, I understand the car's off. I know. Thanks, Toyota. Stop it. So we are in settings, and the newer versions are a lot different. So we're going to vehicle settings. We got to hold this button down, and we're going to go to schedule maintenance. Reset data, yes. And reset is complete. Oil has been added. We already reset the maintenance light. Last thing to do is to use our dipstick to make sure that our oil level is up to spec. Now, even though I have the capacity charts, I'm still going to run the engine for a little bit. And then I'm going to turn it off, let it sit, and then I'm going to verify using my dipstick that we are good to go. Now, with the oil being so viscous, let's see. We have our 2 notches. And as long as we are in between the 2 notches, we are good to go. And this vehicle calls for 0-20, which means it is a very light oil. And that is to improve fuel economy. One thing I do enjoy doing, or I make sure that I do, is I just go over all the caps, make sure everything's nice and tight. I don't want to have my vehicle come back to me for something that I did or I did not do. But that is it, guys. Oil changes are not difficult, and they are getting more expensive. Usually the best prices is going to be at Walmart to buy your oil. Just don't cheap out and buy the no-name Walmart brand. Stick with the stuff that you trust. Me personally, Mobile One, and that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.